with the new record, for instance, which is this record, the latest production, it's self-titled and it just came out. It's really not drum-centric, but it's more textural-centric. This particular record, it started with the material that we acquire when we play live shows, when we do improvise a lot. We record every show, even every sound check. So we have a vast library of like stuff, you know, and sometimes something really good happens. Sometimes even like a sound check, you know, we will get out in a van or come from the airport and we'll sit here and play free without any idea on where it has to go. And then sometimes interesting ideas consolidate. So we get back to those ideas. Let's say, so we have about 30 hours of music, and then we listen to all that stuff, which is a lot of work. And you know, we take that material and Jacob, the keyboard player, Jacob Berghain, and myself, so we set up a little studio in my apartment with some modular synths and a couple of samplers, no drum set. We're playing around with those ideas and trying to put architecture to it, to turn those jams into songs. So we worked for about a week at my place, and then with those ideas we went to the studio. We laid down the basic tracks in about 5 days, which was very improvisational, you know. It was not like this is the beginning or the ending, so we're just like playing chunks of structures. And with this particular record, afterwards, I left it to the other guys to develop the material. So even for like the mixing with this particular record, I only went to the studio for about 3 or 4 days. And the entire record we finished in 3 weeks. So it was 1 week of pre-production, 5 days of time in the studio. Then John, the bass player, and Jacob were kind of like, you know, doing a little bit overdubs and a little bit editing, and mixed it in about a week. So we make records really, really fast. So like from beginning to mastering, it's about 4 weeks. That way, we can regenerate very, very quickly. This is not the process, how you do a record. Usually that takes months and months and months, and you go in and out and you change your mind and do that. So we have the discipline, just goes, okay, we gotta do this record, and whatever it is, it is. Of those 30 demo ideas that we have that went into the studio, in the end, you know, we ended up with like maybe 13 ideas. So from those 13 ideas, we picked the best ones, which were like the 11 songs which are on the record. And on this particular record, we threw overboard a lot of the things that kind of like people associate with what Nerve is, you know. Kind of like, okay, Nerve is a particular way, it's like everything revolves around Jojo's drum beats, and we threw everything out. We threw everything out. We were just like, there's some acoustic piece with upright bass and just piano on it. There's a drum solo. My first drum solo that I've recorded on like a record in, I think, probably like 10 or 15 years. There's a conceptual piece that came together between me and Aaron. It was like, it was deconstructing my playing. So it was kind of like, it was almost like a dialogue between the engineer and like the drums. You have to check it out. It's called the drum lesson. But you know, that was the ability to kind of like have a concept and maybe try to do something fresh sounding that would usually, if you would program it from like a drum machine, would take days to do. You know, but we were able to do this like literally, I did 2 takes of it, and they were like, bah, 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 and it was done. The way we use the studio is almost like a musical instrument, and Aaron Nevezi, the engineer, he's a part of the band, which is as important as John, or as important as what I do, or as important as what Jacob does. So everybody has his little responsibilities that we put together. And so we have the mutual trust and the respect that, you know, I can leave them in their aura and their zone to do a little bit of their work, and I can come in and it's not that we never fight, but we argue, and at the end of the day, we're looking for the music. What happened with this particular record, which is very nice, is ever since I started this idea, it was always a negotiation between the analog world and the digital world, or the human visceral experience of like hitting an instrument or like a string. John still plays a bass guitar, which is augmented by electronic post-production, but to negotiate and reconciliate the digital world with like the analog world, I think we really succeeded on this particular record like never before, because I think although it sounds like a band, we still push the vocabulary of exploratory electronic music. So I think it goes for me as with the guys of the band. I think this is our favorite record that we've been able to do. So we came a big step closer to something that we knew was out there, and now we can articulate it better.